31 degrees, 25 minutes, 13.2 seconds south, 30 degrees east. Coming from a big city, there seems to be so little here. Pretty much looks like the middle of nowhere. This is Eastern Ponderland and the site of a new road. People's lives will change and they have a right to know. We, the South African National Roads Agency SOC Limited, would like to keep them informed about the developments. But this is not an easy area to reach. Only now are the communities receiving electricity, and you can be pretty certain that traditional media have very limited reach out here. So, we hatched an ambitious plan to go face to face. We would go and talk to the people that we knew would talk to others, and we would talk to them in a way that they would remember. So, across the region, we would identify 5 communities that would be affected and choose 5 schools in each. Using a small troupe of actors, all high-profile actors from television and movies, we performed an adapted theatre piece that explained the road and its benefits. There was another purpose too: inspiration. All our actors had their origins in the Greater Eastern Cape region, some from the very far-flung villages so similar to those by which we are surrounded. In this isolated region, it is all too easy to forget about the possibilities in the outside world and the opportunities that exist. So, we showed them in our small way that it is within their reach to make something more of their life and ambitions, regardless of their current circumstances. Here's how the journey went. Firstly, we had meetings. Meetings about meetings and then meetings. But it's the way things are done here. You can't march in and throw something at people. It's their backyard and proper respect must be shown and protocol observed. We met informally with principals of the schools, and then we met with some of the political office holders too. Above all, we were particular about showing the proper decorum and honor to the traditional leadership. So, we met with the chiefs and kings at their great places. Formalities dispensed with, we got down to the business of planning the logistics. This is no easy undertaking. Schools were relatively simple, but community days for hundreds of people with dozens of performances were another matter entirely. Once again, our obsession with local benefit dictated that catering and sound systems and any other logistical support be sourced locally. Returning to Johannesburg, there were rehearsals for our performers and preparation of our mobile exhibition trailer. Detailed scale models were constructed and then packed in lolly-proof crates for their journey. And all too soon, it was time for curtains up. So, it was back again to Ponderland for a 5-week stretch. No real hardship, to be honest, as we were starting to feel at home. Bizana gave us our first welcome, and a warm welcome it was. We collected a giant album of photographs and hearts full of memories. Our initial nerves were settled as all indications were that this would be a success. From Bizana, it was off to Port Edward. At many of the schools, the halls are inadequate or non-existing, and then one simply improvises. Thousands of eyes saw the models and are excited that the region will soon have new roads connecting the coastal areas to each other and the hinterland. But the scale models served an additional purpose. We had been alerted to the inclusion of some engineering principles in the technology curriculum. The added bonus of the models was to not only give the community a visual reference of what the bridges would look like, but also help teachers and students by giving them a practical experience of what was in their technology textbooks. Teachers also created lesson plans from the exhibition, thus creating experiential learning. From Port Edward, it was off to Port St. John's. This community has been at the most isolated end of the Ponderland region for decades. Here again, the children welcomed us and the community was warm and engaging. Then we travelled to Lusikisiki and Flagstaff respectively. Each of the venues offered their own gems, and the communities flocked to hear the message. In Flagstaff, the spirit was epitomized by the arrival of 4 young people playing music for their own entertainment along the way, and then participating in the day's activities. The ladies catered and filled hungry bellies as our edutainment filled hungry minds. Often the audience would be too large for the halls, both at schools and the community days, but they made a plan, and sometimes a window onto the stage was sufficient. The enthusiasm of the crowds never dampened, and it encouraged our performers to keep going. On other occasions, the performances by village children were of such a high standard it left our seasoned professionals in awe and perhaps a little intimidated. But there were smiles and song, dramas and poems. Through it all, we gave over 22,000 people the information they needed and listened to their thoughts. We became a part of the communities that will be affected by the new road, and they took ownership of the new opportunities presented by their road and the spectacular bridges. At the end, we stood in open-mouthed amazement at the way in which we were all embraced and the way in which we heard the name SANRAL echoed spontaneously in drama and song. Songs of praise for a very proud South African National Roads Agency.